I've just moved into a house with oil heating. Aside from the fact that it really pains me to think about how much CO2 we'll be emitting next winter, I'm even more worried about what I'll eventually have to pay for heating oil. Right now, it's cheaper than it has been in years. Tip for all oil heating owners, go ahead and refill your tank now. But it won't stay that way with rising CO2 prices. The problem is, I'm also paying an average rent, and I actually don't think that's very fair because my probably increasing heating costs should somehow be reflected in the rent. But that's not really the case. This is a fundamental problem we have with the energy transition and heating system replacements. In the end, all the heating costs are really just pass-through items for landlords because for the most part, not entirely, but mostly they can pass those costs on to their tenants. In other words, it's the tenants who pay, so landlords don't have much incentive to install an environmentally friendly, energy-saving, and long-term cost-effective heating system. And now, of course, there are proposals, for example, to introduce all-inclusive rents, meaning that the rent would no longer be calculated as just the base rent, but as the total rent, including heating costs, so that it becomes more transparent for tenants or prospective tenants or those interested in renting. But that doesn't really help either, because in my view, when you look at a real estate portal, you check what kind of heating system does it have? What are the likely additional costs, right? What is the energy efficiency rating and all those things? The real problem, the reason why I actually moved in quotation marks, into this house with oil heating is the lack of available options. It was simply the best and most affordable option available for me and my family. So we're back to the topic of housing construction, building new homes, which just isn't really making progress in Germany. Because if there were enough competition, then more people would choose a house or apartment with a heat pump, environmentally friendly district heating, or something similar, and wouldn't have to move into houses with old gas or oil heating systems. But unfortunately, that's just not the reality. What do you think about this?